All right, quick and dirty here. Uh, just letting everyone know, whoever watches this, that this bullshit's live. Um, Paramount Plus, Paramount fucking Plus. Um, I showed the trailer for this. I don't know, like a week ago or something. I think it was. And yeah, and I got about it's 4 episodes, and got about an episode and like 3/4, I think, in, and I'm just gonna say it's bullshit. This is just total fucking bullshit. But it started out okay. It was all right. They had some footage that I'd never noticed before. Uh, they had muzzle flash in the windows, which was something. But the way they frame this whole thing is fucking bullshit. And I'll probably run some videos on it, probably work something up because it's just hot trash. This thing is hot fucking trash. And I'm gonna play the trailer a little bit here, see what I see in this that is in the actual thing itself.
Vegas was always one of the shows for me that I always look forward to.
Welcome back to Route 91. Harvey.
And they made Jason Aldean look like a cold son of a bitch, man. But one of the interesting things is they talked about how the bass player took a bullet in the guitar, and they show a picture of the guitar with a bullet in it. It's crazy. So he was shooting at some point. He was shooting at the stage.
Are we ready to party?
October 1st, 2017, I woke up in Vegas. It was the best thing ever.
Now this chick's a little bit of a big story within this, which is it's all good. It's all good.
It was like any other day. Crews are out working, getting ready for the show.
That was my first country concert. Well, I was excited. I was like, all right, let's.
So this is where the problem starts, right? And let me play this a little bit.
Do this.
It was great. Music sounded great. Crowd was pumped.
The place was just electric.
Get ready, and here we go. Let's set it off.
That's when the world changed for us.
So basically what this does, this runs through the stories. And the reason I paused on this guy is because they decided to use him. And I mean, maybe it's just that's the type of person he is. But they tried to use him to insert racial politics within this whole fucking series. And it's a whole thing. I mean, every time they tell a story, it's this racial fucking bullshit. From the very beginning, he says something about somebody said, I didn't know your kind came to things like this or something of that nature. And it's like, dude, why? Why did you have to insert racial fucking bullshit into this? Okay, maybe that did happen to him. I'm sure probably did. But they focus on this guy's story and they make it seem like this was the only black person that actually went to this concert. And I mean, I love the ideology these days of claiming to be anti-racist by being racist and calling everybody else a racist. It's fucking ridiculous. This shit is fucking out of control. For what happened that night, it had nothing to do with skin color whatsoever. You can't say it did. There's nobody that can say it did. I mean, Paddock was not aiming. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. Now, some of the other problems I'll go into here in a bit. I'm just gonna play through this because let's see what else I saw in this trailer that because they're not really focusing on the racial aspect until you actually watch the show. Then you're starting to see the racial aspect of the whole background of what they're trying to do here, insert their own racial politics within this Route 91 shooting, which makes absolutely no fucking sense.
Automatic fire! Automatic fire! Mandalay Bay, halfway up. I see the shot coming from Mandalay Bay.
Oh, and kind of work that out. I don't think that's Paddock. I don't think that's Paddock at all.
Watch the people fall in the crowd. Boom, 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 boom.
I just felt the worst pain of my life. You did not survive cancer to die here tonight.
I told her I got her. I've already lost 2 girls. I'm not losing another one.
Sorry.
My sister was the only thing keeping me going.
I was like, if I'm gonna die, I want to help somebody. To get as many people out of here as fast as I can.
I've been shot. I'm bleeding. I can't say what made me decide to go back in, but it's the right thing to do.
We're trained to take the fight to the person.
Dad, go kill this motherfucker.
I'm looking at what the heroes did that night. People risking their lives for other people.
There's a very heavy weight that goes with being the storyteller. It's important that people know the truth.
I don't think there was any one of us that thought we were coming out the same way that we went in.
All right, now I think this is going to piss off a lot of people for a lot of reasons. At least this little series that they put here. I think, and before I get into that, if you want to watch this thing in its entirety, anybody can. There is if you go on Paramount Plus, there's a free 7-day trial. So you watch the whole thing. It's all up there right now, all 4 fucked up episodes. But there's a couple problems with this thing that I saw. Now, first of all, they're throwing the narrative at you. And, they actually had, I don't know, one of the detectives, I think it's Balanek or one of those guys, that was saying that, the narrative was Paddock started shooting. Okay. So, so you just joined. What this is, man, is this is something on, was it Paramount Plus? So Paramount Plus. This is they put 4 episodes out of this bullshit. They're about 50 minutes long. You have to be subscribed to Paramount Plus to actually see this thing. It's about the Vegas shooting, kind of. It's like the Titanic, right? It's a bullshit. Well, it's not even a bullshit story. It's a real story. Number of real stories based around this event, but basically, it's fucked up. It's really fucked up. And I'm finding little things here. What they did is they threw a narrative at you. And I know a lot of people are going to get pissed off about that because the narrative that they put out there was that Paddock started shooting because Campbell showed up to the room. Now, I talked to GJ Silver in this thing a lot. Where he talks about his kid being up there. No, I ain't gonna show the whole thing right now, dude. I don't want to get copyright stricken. I'm gonna do some videos on this shit because this just pisses me off, dude. This is fucked up. It's really fucked up. This is just the trailer for it, and but it's gonna take me a while to actually put together anything on this because I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing and stuff to do that. I just want to come on today and say that this fucking thing is out and it's fucking hot trash. It's fucking garbage, and so what they did in this is they started out by talking about this dude, and he's a black guy, and he talks about how somebody came up and made a comment about I didn't know your kind, but came here or something like that, some stupid shit. And so it starts off on this whole racial politics, like current racial politics, right? That really didn't exist in 2017, and of course, obviously, he wasn't the only black person there. Obviously, I mean, they show in a lot of the footage that there are multiple, there are people there. I mean, and it pisses me off because the 2 friends that I had, two of my really good friends that were there, along with their kids and shit, are Mexican, right? They're fucking Mexican. They're like full blooded, moms from Mexico, dads from Mexico. They're fucking Mexican. So, not country music is not just a bunch of fucking white fucking redneck hillbillies fucking doing their thing. That's not what it is. That's just bullshit. So again, by trying to be anti-racist and calling everybody else a racist, you're actually being racist. And that's kind of the common theme with a lot of this woke fucking trash that we're getting out here. And this is no different. So, they focus in on that. Now, it would be one thing if the guy just, he said it and they fucking edited it out or edited it in somehow, whatever. But no, they focus on that shit. And, he gets helped by a white police officer, which I think is the redemption arc of this whole fucking minutia. And, they have other people involved in this. In this trailer, you see multiple faces, and those are interviews that they were doing, and they're telling the stories of other people as well. But they seem to focus in a lot on that one, and it's fucked up. And it's fucked up for a lot of reasons. One, as they're telling one of the other stories of the girl that's trying to survive, they're showing consistent clips of a girl that died. And they're showing, just constant, dude. And I know most people don't focus on this sort of stuff. Most people don't realize what they're watching. And I'm sitting here watching somebody who's about to die. And I'm hearing a story about another girl that lived, as the background that they're showing is somebody who's about to die. And it's pretty fucked up because the editing makes you think that the person you're seeing in the video maybe this girl that's going to survive. Well, no, it's not. It's somebody that died. That person died that night. And you don't bother. This is why it bothers me, right? You're showing somebody, you're showing somebody that's about to pass away. It's about to die. And you're throwing a narrative on it that it's not that fucking person. And you're using that person that's about to pass away to run a fucking narrative about a different person. And it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of fucked up to me. I don't know why it's fucked up, but can you imagine if that person that dies in that video is your mom, your sister, something like that, dude. And they're telling this story about this other fucking chick, and you're like, no, that ain't fucking that person. That's my fucking mom, or that's whatever. And you're saying it's this chick, man. It's stupid. And then what they did at some point, because like I said, a lot of this was based off of, racism or whatever the fuck they're trying to push here. And, so they show this dude, this black dude took a round to the neck, which is fucking brutal. And he was, they're touting him as a hero, which, yeah, okay. The guy got out of the concert and he ran back in and try and help people, and he got shot doing it. And I'm sure it's a legit, thing. And that's great, and he's getting, it's not great. It's a bad choice of words. He's getting help by a fucking police officer, right? He survived. He obviously survived because they're doing interviews with him. And that's, that's the moral of the story is, I guess they're trying to say that, white people aren't all bad or something. I don't fucking know. But, as he's being helped on the ground, man, and this is, I don't know why this fucking bothers me as much as it does. But while he's being helped on the ground, they're showing him and he's telling the story. Oh, start going in and out and all this sort of stuff. And, they saved him. That's a good story, man. Great story. In the background, we're watching a lady who died. We're watching a lady die, watching her live her last fucking minutes. And we don't mention that. They don't mention that. And I think it's because they don't know. The people that make these fucking videos don't fucking know what they're doing. And so, there's a lady in the background that just didn't make it, didn't make it. And like I said, I'll try and, I don't like pointing out the victims, but for something like this, I don't know, maybe I'll have to. The guy's on the ground. He's over, I think it was off Reno, I think it was, in front of the apartments, See a bunch of those body cams, man. There are a bunch of cops there. They all have their body cams on. It's all good. But as we're sitting there watching, them try and save this dude, there's a lady in the background that just didn't make it. She didn't make it. She died that night. And again, her story, from my understanding, and I could be completely fucking wrong. Maybe there's two people that look like that have the same characteristics as this person, that have the same outfit on. But in the autopsies, there's a girl that was shot in the same place as this lady, who made it to a hospital, died, had the exact same clothes on. So I'm guessing it's her. I'm just assuming at this point with the research that I've done. Hey, how you doing? With the research that I've done, I'm saying that, to me, I'm guessing that's her. And lady didn't make it. She made it to a hospital, died in the hospital. She's on the she got chucked into an ambulance at some point, and as she's getting in the ambulance, she's saying, I'm having a problem breathing. And so I went out and I did what research I could, and I found an autopsy with a person that had the same description, that had the same outfit, had the same, was shot in the back, same as that lady. They passed away. So you're showing the story of this person who lived, and you're making it the focus of your story here. And in the background, you're showing a lady dying. She's dying. To me, like I said, I can't even put it into words why I think that that's fucked up, why that's extremely fucked up, and why it bothers me so much. That they didn't even bother to mention, all you had to do to fix this whole bullshit, to fix this crap, and like I said, I'm only like episode and 2/3 or whatever into this garbage. But, as I'm watching this, they're showing these videos of people that actually did fucking die, and they're blanking out, a lot of the gory stuff, the graphic stuff like that. But, for one, we see, I'll just say it, man, it's Rocio. It's Rocio Gayen. I think I said it in one of my videos where we watched that body cam. And it's kind of hard for me to watch, man, because you're looking into the eyes of a person that's about to die. And they're not going to make it another 20 minutes. They're just done. And, and you're watching them struggle to survive. That really bothers me. That made it hard to fucking watch this bullshit. It makes it tough. But, they're telling a story around it that is something completely opposite. It's completely different, right? They're telling a story about another girl that survived. And in doing so, they're consistently, and it's like beating you over the head. They're consistently showing this person who isn't going to make it. And that just bothers me. That just bugs me. It bugs the shit out of me. And then, like I said, later, in it, they're telling the story of this dude that they decided to, throw their racial politics into. And, at that point, they show him on the ground and they're trying to save him. And obviously they did. They're trying to save him. And in the background, watching a lady die. And it's like, fuck, man, you're telling the story. The very least you could have done, they could have done, is had something about the guy saying, it was the worst day of my life, but I was one of the lucky guys that I got out alive. I'm still alive. And, I feel bad for all the families that lost people that day. Whatever. They didn't do that shit. Nah, fuck that. Fuck everybody else, dude. This is about the people we're telling the story about. And so when you're showing people legit dying and you don't even mention it, and I don't think they mentioned it because they're fucked up. I think they didn't mention it because they don't know. They have no idea. These people, whoever made this thing, do not know, what was really going on. They just put this together with interviews that they had. They took a bunch of body cam footage, cell phone footage, stuff like that, and they put it all together to make a narrative behind it. But again, that bothers me because why would you do something like this without doing any of your own research? Like, why would you do that? I don't understand. I don't get it. And it really just kind of pisses me off that they would do something like that. It just pisses me off when you see, we always talk about like disrespecting the victims, and I have a problem with disrespecting the dead, right? I've always had that problem. I don't believe I don't believe there's any, coming back from that. I think disrespecting the dead is fucked up because they're not here to defend themselves anymore. So, and that's what this is. That's what they did. And I don't think they knew they did it because nobody decided to do any fucking research to figure out who the fuck these people are that are in the background shots of these fucking cameras. And so that's where it fucking drives me nuts. It drives me absolutely fucking insane. And it is what it is, dude. It's a bunch of interviews and they're going through the interviews of these people, what they went through that night, which is cool. That's great. But the way they went about it was fucked up because they didn't do any research. They didn't do anything. They just fucking took a bunch of footage that looked flashy. They had chaos in it and they decided to show it. And like I said, when I see particular individuals, I'm like, oh, that one didn't make it. Oh, that person died. But they're not talking about that person. They're not saying anything about it. They're just ignoring it and they're telling their story. And it's like, the least, I don't know. I don't even know how to fix it. I don't know how they could have fixed it. It's fucked up. And then, to get racial politics thrown in your face in the first episode, it's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You don't need to talk about that. You don't need to talk about that. Paddock was not aiming. He wasn't aiming at anybody. There is no racism here. It's fucking has nothing to do with your personal fucking politics of 2020. It's got nothing to do with that. It's fucking, and it's not even cops that we're having problems with. We're doing interviews with cops. We're making them heroes in this thing, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But, when you throw your own personal fucking politics into something like this wasn't about race, man. This had nothing to do with race. So I don't even know why you fucking mentioned it. I don't know why you didn't just edit that shit out. You could edit that shit out. Ain't that fucking difficult, and I understand, they're probably going with the redemption arc here. And I haven't even watched the whole thing, man, because it's hard to get through, but, they're probably going to run this redemption arc because, that dude, the black dude that they decided to say, make it sound like the one black dude in the concert that was being discriminated against by the evil white fucking rednecks, that dude, well, cops being heroes or not is arguable. But, they decided to make it about this guy and, or a lot of it about the guy, not all of it, dude, because they do go through some stories. But, that was one of the first things that I was hit with was like, oh, they're basically saying that, this guy's talking about how he's made to feel uncomfortable because someone said, oh, I didn't know your kind came to these things or something of that nature. And it's like, and then throughout the series, you start to, it starts to sound like he was the only black guy there. He starts to make it sound like I was, discriminated against. I was the only black guy. No, you weren't, dude. And that's not what this is about. So I'm not going to put it on him, that he's the bad guy here at all. Not at all, dude. Not at all. The guy has a story to tell. It's, it's an amazing story. I'm happy the guy lived and it's, he almost didn't, it sounds like. But they should have edited that shit better. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Throw your personal politics into something like this. This was 2017, not 2020. This wasn't some fucking, racial bullshit. So that kind of fucking frustrated me. And then, like I said, then as you're seeing, then when you're saying, you're showing the victims, people actually died, and then you're telling a story over that, and kind of making it seem like those people in these photos are actually the people that they're talking to. Well, no, they're not. They're not at all. And and then when you when you use somebody in that nature who's no longer around, that's fucked up. That's just fucked up. That's disrespectful, man. That's disrespectful to fucking people who died in this thing. So, that just sucks, man. That sucks bad. The like I said, this thing's kind of shit. Now, a couple things with this is they do show muzzle flash coming out of the window. So we can put that to bed. Out of 135 of all things. I don't know where they got that footage. I don't know what that footage is from, but they do show muzzle flash out of 135. They do have an interview with the cop who supposedly pulled his binoculars out and could see panic that night. They did show that. Now, as far as your comment here, since I'm kind of done ranting, I don't even know what to fucking say anymore about this because it's just aggravating and it's frustrating and it just pisses me off that it's like, you fuckers didn't even bother doing any research of your own, like to figure out what the fuck is going on here. You just did a bunch of interviews and then injected a bunch of fucking video that you thought would fit those interviews. Fuck you. I don't like that. That's just, that's just me though. I'm very frustrated over this whole thing. And then, but yeah, and anyway, and also you can watch it for free if you want to watch it. It's you can do a free trial and then just cancel, son of a bitch, afterwards. So, and obviously Paramount Plus, and if you actually go onto YouTube and you type in this 11 minutes, it'll try and sign you up for Paramount Plus. So, and it'll tell you about the free trial and all that shit. So, but as far as yeah, there was muzzle flash in it. It's not a movie. It's a documentary, more or less, if you call it that. But it's but yeah, they do have a photo or video actually of muzzle flash coming out of that room. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy. It's about I think it was, if I remember right, it's like 32 minutes and 30 seconds into the first episode they showed that, and it happens, and that's the first time I've ever seen it. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what video that was from. But the thing is, like I said, they didn't do any research. They're just using stories. And they do talk to one of the cops who basically blamed Campos for starting the whole thing, which I think was the original narrative. To be honest with you, that was interesting to me because to me, that's probably what happened. That's probably legit. And Campos is on there. He even says that he saw the maid or whatever, DJ Silver's babysitter. And he says that he saw her come out of the door and told her to go back in. So, that kind of matches with some of his, what do you call it? His I want to say reports, but his statements. But they had Levi in there, and you're right, Diane. Levi looks old. He's getting old fast. They had a bunch of those guys in there talking. Yeah, there are a lot of guys, a lot of people talking in this thing. As far as the cops, being heroes or not heroes, I've always said the same thing, dude. It depends on the cop, depends on what we're watching, and as I go through these body cams, some of these guys were very heroic, man, and it's a personal thing, between each cop. Some of them were just absolutely fucked up. Some were crazy fucked up, and the leadership was fucked up. The leadership was fucked up that night. Yeah, the original muzzle flash video was 134, I believe. That's 134. Nah, this was 135. And but like I said, it's video we've never seen before. Never seen that stuff before. But yeah, as far as cops go, man, I mean, some of these cops, and it may have been a video they just fucking focused in on. Maybe they saw it, we didn't. Nobody in this community saw it, and they did. I don't know, but I mean, we talk about the cops, dude. I mean, some of these guys legit were trying. They were doing the right thing. Some of them were fucked up. I always talk shit about the Australian guy, and then the dude at the fucking Motel 6, man. Those are two cops that really just shouldn't be cops. And then, of course, Hendricks. Varsity you can't blame because it was her first day. She didn't know what she was doing. She was following orders of her training officer. But yeah, obviously Hendricks should probably not be a cop. And I think he is again. But that's my opinion. But when you come to like individual cops of that night, some were just trying to do the right thing. Some you had cops like you the I don't know what word to use for this, but the juxtaposition between a couple of cops that were in the actual venue during the shooting. You had two cops that went in there and stayed for the entirety of the shooting. And you had one cop that was sitting on top of a lady, and he kept saying, and you don't see it because it's, it's one of those videos that, we're seeing a vest the whole time. But the cop's sitting there he's saying, just get under me. And she's like, you can't stop bullets. And he said, well, at least I'm wearing a vest, so just get under me. That would be your definition of a heroic act. That would be mine, at least. Then you had cops that, booked it out of the concert, booked it out of the venue, and came back and started pushing people around. Now that was not very fucking, that was the opposite. So that was fucked up. But yeah, I mean, it's an individual basis on, whether they were good or bad that night. And then the leadership was a complete breakdown. They were fucked up. So, and I've always maintained that. Anyways, I'm out of here. I just wanted to come on, let everyone know that this is a fucking thing. And as far as I've gotten into it, it's fucking hot trash. And it had some interesting things. Had that little muzzle flash. At least I think that's what it is. I don't fucking know, but it looked like it to me. That was kind of interesting. It was important. Campos saying he saw, the maid come out of the room, or not the maid, the babysitter, basically, what they keep calling her during the series. Seeing her come out of the room, that was good. That's something. I mean, it matches up with his some of his statements. So that was cool. And everybody's stories from that night. I mean, the bass player getting hit with the bullet. I mean, was he shooting at Aldine? That's crazy. Like, was some of the first rounds fucking aimed at Aldine? Because it had to be fairly early, right? Because those motherfuckers were off stage quick. So, I mean, I've heard people say, he was shooting at Aldine. It's possible. He hit the fucking bass guitar. Not the bass player. That guy got lucky, man. He hit the guitar. And they showed a picture of that guitar with the bullet in it. And, yeah. So that was something. But there were some, some moments in there that were like, oh, wow, it was eye-opening. But for the most part, it's like, man, you lose me when you start throwing your own racial fucking bullshit into something like this. It's like, this was 2017 and you're making it in 2020. So, of course, everybody has to be fucking racist, except for the people who are actually being racist by putting this shit out there and saying that all fucking, white people are bad or whatever it happens to be. That's just fucking stupid. But that's nonsensical. Anyway, so I think I'm done with this. I just wanted to come on and do that and talk about this thing, vent a little bit, because this just pissed me off. Anyways, be safe, everyone. Have a good day.